All right, Mrs. McKenzie Shields. Welcome
Hello.
back to the Bamcast.
It's been a while.
It has. I don't think you've been on this year at all.
Really?
Yeah.
When did we do it last?
Sometime I think it was right after the house.
We did a house one. Mm-hmm.
And it was the ceiling was like caved in behind us.
Yeah, that was fun.
Outside of your personal physical transformation, I feel like that's the biggest transformation in our lives.
The house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ongoing too. We're living in a construction zone still, so.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we get away from that. But it's coming along.
It is. It has come along a long way.
Yeah.
Since the beginning, but still have a lot to do.
We've got the house and things that are happening there. We've got Oki. We got a pup.
Oh, baby.
Which I think we have. I think I've talked about it on a couple of different podcast episodes. So you can talk about Oki. And then we've got your big kind of project of the year, which has been your prep.
Yes, since January.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about
been a long time.
how that came about, why you're doing it, and then what the process has kind of looked like so far.
Yeah. So, really, I feel like I was just starting to sound like a broken record. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. You know, like you've done a show, Addie's done a show, my mom's done a show. So I've just been surrounded by it. And it's just been something that I'm like, you know what? I just want to do it to try it. It looks super fun. From an outside perspective at the time. And, you know, I just wanted to be able to not only say that I've accomplished that goal, but to just put myself through it and see that, you know, I can do this. I can, you know, accomplish and overcome the mental challenges that come with prep and all sorts of stuff like that. But just being able to kind of like see that you're capable of putting your body through that. So yeah. So anyways, it's been on my mind for a while. I want to say like what kind of made me actually leap into doing it. It was funny because I know we were with Addie and Jermaine. And I don't know what started the conversation, but I was just like, you know what? How like we're talking about summer shredding because we always end up going to at least one of them a year. And I was like, do you think I could be ready by then? And again, this was in January. So we were talking about the June one, right? Okay. We were talking about the June show at the time. And we're kind of I guess I was talking to you and Addie, but I was like, Addie, would you be able to get me ready by then? And she was like, heck yeah. So I was like, all right. So I want to say like it was that next week we just kind of started working towards it. And then I mean we can talk more about why we didn't do the June one, but it's September now, the show that we're aiming for. And there's another one as well before then.
So basically we pivoted. You pivoted pretty much in April into May. So talk about what it was like when you first got on prep and then those first few months and then the kind of pivot.
Yeah, I would say I mean, I was very locked in since January because at the time I was aiming for that June show and I wanted to get that show. So it wasn't like, you know, let's ease into it, let's clean up your diet, see where it goes, which a lot of it was cleaning up my diet and kind of getting like things in order and prepping my body for actual prep. But yeah, so what was the question?
Talk about the first 3 months.
That's prep brain.
The
by
change,
the way. Yeah, so the first 3 months, it was really just kind of getting into a good routine with things, tracking my macros again. I hadn't done that since 75 Hard. Staying consistent in the gym because we weren't doing that because of the house. So it was just a full, just change of lifestyle that it was actually kind of nice getting back into and prioritizing those things just because, like, you and I, fitness is everything for us. Like, it is a big part of our mental health. And not saying like I was, uh, down or anything like that, but it helped me be more positive once I started prioritizing things like that. So it was kind of nice. That was just like a side effect of getting back into the groove of things. But we, a couple months down the road, Addie and I had a few conversations. She was like, "Do you really want to do this show?" And I had always wanted to do summer shredding just because we would always go there. And I just loved the environment. I loved the energy. I thought it would be a really cool show to compete at. But at the time, we kind of were realizing that, okay, we would have to cut really hard to get me ready by then. And so we just didn't want to, take those chances of hurting my hormones and messing up my body even more than what prep will already do for it. So we decided to take it slower and shoot for a later show. So that's what led to the September one. Yeah.
And why did you start prep in the first place?
My why? Well, for anyone who has kind of listened to our journey, kids aren't far from the future. So I kind of had this goal in mind of having like the best physique and getting my body in like the best shape before kids were introduced. Just so, one, it would be easier for my body to bounce back, but two, just to be able to kind of like accomplish that. Not saying that I can't get to that level after kids, because you certainly can. I mean, my mom looks great and she had 3. So, but I just wanted to be able to do that. And I had that in mind for the longest time.
So we talked about
now or never.
Yeah. And this is always something you had kind of talked about, and you had brought it up a bunch of times and never really jumped on anything. And so I think you and I also kind of had a conversation at the beginning of the year where it was kind of like, hey, you keep saying this and you keep pushing it back and back and back and back. So I would like to have kids soon. Start and freaking do it. Quit talking about it. Be about it. Yeah. And you hit the ground running and you've just ran with it.
Yeah, I think what really helped me, because I've been locked in. Like, I, so far have not had any like crazy, days where I just like indulge and fall off the plan or anything like that. So that's been really good. Addie's been a great coach. But I think what has also helped is just because I was like, I have to be ready for this show. And then when it got closer, I'd already had established those habits. So it was a lot easier to stay on track and to do my workouts and things like that. But if I were to be like at the beginning of the year, shoot for a September show, I think it would have been harder to keep that focus with it being so far out. Because, I mean, that's almost a whole year. So, which has been a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I can attest to it. You've been very, very on point. You've been locked in the entire time.
Even on vacation, that's been hard.
Yeah, we went to Turks and Caicos, and you guys stayed locked in the whole time.
And I went to Aruba with my family. Yeah. It was hard as well.
Yeah.
So
basically, get to March, I think it was, or April, March.
March or April.
I think you took basically the month of April or month of May a little bit more relaxed. I don't remember which one it was.
I want to say maybe April. It was April because I got to enjoy my birthday, and then it was like that next month was when we started really changing things up and getting like more aggressive with, you know, my workouts and the macros, just making sure that I was on track for this next show.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've even really talked much about the story going to go get Oki on the podcast, if at all. But even our trip to go get her was different and unique because you had to bring your stuff with you to go do that.
Yeah, like I said, I think what really helped me in times like that, where it's like, no, like there's no negotiation. I have to do this. I have to make it work. Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, okay, fine. I'll have it just this once. Which, again, outside of prep, you can totally do balance. But I just was very, focused on it. And I think what also helped me with that is 75 hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when we went to go get Oki, I had to warm my food up at the gas stations. I remember that. It was fun.
Yeah, and you picked a dog in Kentucky.
Yes.
Even though there was plenty near us.
Okay.
So we end up on the story is, and there was a post that I made that a bunch of people saw, which was I'm sitting in bed like reading at night before Kenzie like comes up there, and I'm going through our email, and there's probably 50 notifications in the email inbox where it's just dog applications, like your puppy application, your puppy application, your puppy application, your puppy application, like 50 of them. And Kenzie didn't realize that it was sending us a notification every time that
I forgot I used the joint email to sign up for that app. So that was my mistake.
And so I'm just seeing countless applications go through. I'm like, and I just yell downstairs to her, like, how many dogs are we getting? Like, what are you doing down there? And anyways, long story short, she starts to talk about this pup that's in Kentucky. And I'm like, okay, but Kentucky, that's like 15 hours away. That's ridiculous. Like, can they deliver? And it ends up being like I don't remember what we had before and after that weekend, but there was something that was going to be like, we either need to go get the pup now or we're not going to be able to get her until.
You were going out of town for work.
But there was something, it was like multiple weeks in a row.
Oh,
so it was either going to be like now or like when she's 12 weeks old or something like that.
Right. And then you miss out on the growth phase. I mean, she'll still be growing, but when they're little babies.
Mm-hmm. And so it's Valentine's Day weekend. It's like February 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically are, for whatever stupid reason, we decide that we're going to go drive and go get this puppy. And as we're like, okay, it's going to be a bunch of memories. It's going to be cool. And as we're loading up, I'm loading up the truck. I'm like stacking stuff in the truck and getting it ready to go. I only had this truck for like a month, by the way, as well at this point. We're loading up the truck, getting ready to go. And I get a notification on my phone as I'm like mapping out the initial mapping of going there. And it's like extreme flood warning, like, and then like I get a news alert at the same time that's like devastating floods expected this weekend in Kentucky. And I'm like, oh my God. So.
Well, and it's hard to navigate that because you see the alerts like severe thunderstorm warning and you're like, oh, well, like, especially if it's your area, you're like, okay, it's really not going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to judge that, especially since it wasn't a state that we've been in.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know what to expect.
We didn't. But that should have been our first sign to just have her delivered later on. And then we basically get in the car, start going. We drive until super late that night to a hotel. We basically wait to pick a hotel until we start to get a little bit closer. And we try to see how far we can make it that night. We wanted to leave ourselves, 4 hours or less. It was like a 16-hour drive. We wanted to basically leave ourselves like 4 hours or less the next day so that we could try to get there and then make it all the way or most of the way back the next morning. So we get to, I think it was it Little Rock, Arkansas? Doesn't matter.
Say, yeah.
We get to wherever this is, and we leave ourselves about the amount of time we wanted to leave. And we wake up the next morning and get in the car super early. And I had just got done driving for like 9 or 10 hours that day, or 12 hours, whatever it was. And so you're like, let me take the morning shift. And it's already starting to rain, starting to drizzle a little bit. You're like, let me take the morning shift. And then do you want to take it from there, or do you want me to explain?
Well, your story is different than mine and what actually happened.
Okay. So she starts driving, all right? And there's like it's her first time she's ever driven the truck. And there's like random things that start to kind of happen. Like it would either be like maybe she broke a little bit hard, like to hit the brakes a little bit hard. And so I'd like kind of jolt awake because fell back asleep. Or she would, I don't even know, start talking to me randomly. Or a couple of times she hit like the skids on the side of the interstate where it tells you like, hey, you're too far over, get back on. And every time I'm like asleep and like jolting awake to look at what's going on here. So there was one time in particular where she hits the skids and I jolt awake again, and I'm like, do you need me to switch? And she's like, no, sorry, I was looking at something.
Yeah, I was trying to take in the drive because
okay,
it was.
You still have to focus on driving.
We're driving around to a place that I've never been to, so I was just trying to take it all in.
Okay. Anyways, about 20 to 25 seconds after that last skid hit, she gets a notification, like the little ping comes on the truck system, and it pops up a dialog window that says it's like a warning, extreme warning, and it's like PSI below 10 or something like that.
Yeah, and I thought that was like a glitch or something. I was so confused because it didn't make any sort of beeping noise or anything like that. It just popped up on the screen, and I was like, that's weird. I was like, I didn't feel anything.
And she goes, is this bad? And I'm like, what? And she's like, it says the tire PSI is less than 10. I'm like, yes, pull over. And then she just keeps driving. And I'm like, Kenzie, pull the car over. And she just keeps driving. She's like, I'm trying. I'm like, no, just pull over. Stop the truck. Because I'm seeing it count down. It's like 9, 8, 5. And I'm like, it's going to blow out on us.
Yeah, I think it got to like 4 or 3. And then I finally pulled over. But there wasn't like a good area to just like
there's a shoulder the entire time that we're going.
Yeah, but it wasn't there wasn't like a turn or like a side street that I could just pull into and slow down. You had to get like right off the road.
Okay. Logic again. Anyways, we pull over, she pulls over finally. I get out, go look at it. Sure enough, the tire is completely just empty. There's nothing left in the tire. There's like a rock that went through the tire that she hit, or something happened during one of the latest skid incidents.
And that was really like maybe 20 minutes into the drive.
Yeah, so 20 minutes into our next travel day, which is going to be like a 20-hour travel day, Kenzie pops the tire. So then I've only had this truck for a month at this point. And so I start to look up, like, all the details on how to change a truck tire. I've never had to change a truck tire before. I've changed a bunch of car tires, but never a truck one. So I start to look it up.
Oh, it's raining, by the way.
Yeah, it's raining at this point. Pretty good, pretty hard.
Yeah.
First thing out of Kenzie's mouth. And husbands will understand this. First thing out of Kenzie's mouth, should we call my dad?
Listen, I asked that because he has a GMC as well. And you were trying to figure out where you were trying to figure out where the spare tire was. I remember that. And you were like, I can't freaking find it. I don't think it has one. And I said, should we call my dad? Meaning
I didn't
he
ever
has
say
a
that I
truck.
didn't think the truck had a spare tire.
Okay, well, the way you remember it is different than the way I remember it.
Yeah. So first thing she says is that, which infuriated
Yeah,
me.
you were mad.
I was so pissed. And I'm wearing like a hoodie, and because it's still cold, I'm wearing a hoodie and like some comfy sweats for like the long travel day. And we have like a couple of towels that we had brought for, we're going to pick up a little puppy. We figured there'd be some accidents in the car.
Yeah.
So I grab one of them and I go outside to go lay it down, to have something to lay down under the truck. I end up figuring out how to, get the tire to lower down, because on a truck it's like cinched up with some type of like a winch where you kind of like have to like stick it like a tool in there and like unwind it, and then it slowly lowers the tire down, and then you have to unscrew this thing and then pull the tire off and all these things. And so I get the tire off and I'm starting to install it, and there's just like thing after thing that's happening. I'm getting sprayed because every car that's driving by, it's wet and it's pouring rain. So like water is just running across the road. Like my towel's already drenched. My entire side, like dirt and water starts to like mix out there too, because we're on the shoulder where there's grass on one side, and that's starting to like come onto the road, getting sprayed from the cars.
Yeah, and they didn't even slow down.
And Kenzie FaceTimes her parents.
What
And
else
so
is that gonna do?
while I'm drenched, going in and out of the truck, like looking at directions, trying to figure out how to do all of this, Kenzie is just over there, just FaceTiming her parents, like, yeah, what do y'all got going on today? Like, how are you guys doing? What are you guys going to do the weekend? That's so fun. Oh my gosh. And like just FaceTiming.
Listen, I was in a good mood. I didn't. You were not in a good mood, and I didn't want my mood to be killed. So.
Okay. And I'm handling all this, and eventually she asked me something while you were on the phone. You asked me something, and I had been worked up because I was so pissed from how drenched I was now, how uncomfortable everything was. My clothes were waterlogged. Everything had gone wrong. It felt like that could possibly go wrong. And you asked me something with them on the phone. And that was the first time your dad probably ever heard me like talk really stern to you. Because I was like, Kenzie, hang up the phone now. And he was like, well, sounds like you guys are good. And I was like, hang up the phone. We'll talk to them later. And you're like, okay. And he just hang up the phone. So then we start calling around trying to figure out, okay, we can't drive all the way the rest of the 4 hours we still had left, because it was going to be a 4-hour day to drive there. We can't go all the way there on a spare tire. So we look up, okay, there's a Walmart 20 minutes away. We go to the Walmart. The Walmart's like, yeah, it's going to be 45 minutes. We wait at the Walmart for
longer than
like 3 hours.
Minutes. Yeah.
So we would have already been to the kennel place by then, but we were just 30 minutes from where we took off in the original place, 4 hours into our day. Mm-hmm. And we get this new tire, and we basically then take off from there. But by this time, things have had a really good chance to like pool up. Like it's like outside, it's flooding everywhere. Like we're driving through highways, mm-hmm. and it looks like you're driving on like a raised road in the middle of a lake. Yeah. It's just the highways a little bit raised from everything else, and it's just water on either side.
And what it was before was just flat land. Like it was just lots of grass and trees, and what it looked like was you were driving in the middle of a lake at that point.
Yeah.
So that was a little scary.
It was very scary, yeah. And so now we're trying to figure out, okay, is it even safe to go finish this trip? Like, what do we do? Anyways, we get there at like 6 p.m., which is when we were hoping to be like halfway back at that point. So now we're 9 hours into it's supposed to be 4-hour drive there, and we're just now getting there. That was even chaotic because we walk in the middle of this rainstorm, and her owner has, or the breeder, I guess, has Oki out and Oki's mom in the room.
Yeah, that was so sad.
It was so sad because we're holding this new puppy that we're about to take home, and Oki's mom is just like sitting on her back feet with her hands up, like, "Hey, be careful with my baby," like just checking on her,
Like, we're
trying
gonna
to get
take
us to
her
put her
away.
down. And so we had to sit there while this mom was super sad as we take this puppy, and we're like, "Are we even doing the right thing? Is this immoral?" And so then we just have this new living thing that's just dependent on us.
Yeah, and she was so shy and calm and like, well, not calm. I would say she was shy and nervous.
Mm.
And so I was worried because I was like, oh gosh, like, is she going to have a lot of anxiety? Like, is she going to be okay through the night? Little did we know.
Yeah.
We got a firecracker.
Mm-hmm. So we get her, and then it's an extremely dangerous drive back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, then it's really, like, really, really coming down. We're driving back through everything that was really flooded before with another 5 hours of rainfall on it.
Right.
And so we end up taking, like, literal complete back roads Kentucky, because they tell us that that's going to be the best route. The thing told us we're going to be the best route.
Yeah.
And so we're in completely back roads Kentucky. We're driving through on roads that we can barely even see are there because it's pitch black outside by this point. It's 9 p.m. ish. And we're driving, half the speed limit because we're driving in about an inch to inch and a half of water that has now flooded over the road. Again, it's all water on either side of us.
Yeah.
And we're in this new truck. We have this new puppy.
Yep.
And we slowly, for me, I'm freaked out because you can't even, it's raining so hard that the wipers aren't even able to keep rain off the visor, the windshield. And I'm basically driving on water the whole time. There's not a point where I wasn't at risk of hydroplaning. You can hear the water spinning up out underneath you. And I start to slowly realize if something we're screwed. There's nothing that we can do. So I'm freaking out internally, but I'm trying to be calm because now I have Kenzie and she's obsessing over this little puppy. Anyways, we end up making it through that, getting on a couple of other roads that were a little bit safer. And we decided to actually stop at the exact same hotel as we did the night before, because even though that was 4 hours and 4 hours, because of the 4-hour delay, it was 2 a.m. again already. Yeah. So we get back to where we were the night before. That was 4 hours from our destination at 2 a.m. And so then we basically, that day, or that night, we pull Oki into the room and we're like, she's so chill. This is going to be a breeze. Mm-hmm. The second that she hit the floor inside of the hotel room, it just turns into the Oki that we know today. Yeah. Which is
a psycho.
Yeah. It was she waited because she knew we couldn't take her back at this point.
Yeah.
And she just hit the floor and was bouncing off the walls, barking nonstop.
Yes.
Grabbing things and ripping them up and pulling them across. And we're like, what happened?
Yeah, I know. I was scared that she was going to wake someone up and we're going to get a complaint or something like that, because she was pretty loud. And so I was trying anything. I was like, okay, well, do we distract her? Do we put her in her kennel? I didn't know what to do because she would not stop yapping. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're just trying to go to bed.
Yeah, because it's 3 a.m. and we woke up at 5 a.m.
So then we let her sleep with us. Obviously, a puppy can't hold her bladder. And I was nervous that, we're so tired, we're going to be in such deep sleep that she was going to fall off the bed. So, I did not sleep one bit because I was so freaking out, about the possibility of her just, hurting herself or whatever. Because, I mean, we never had the puppy before, so. And we woke up that next morning. Oh, my gosh. She destroyed that room.
Yeah, she had ripped stuff up. She peed on top of us while we were sleeping. She peed on top of our covers. Oh. And so we're like, this hotel, we're probably going to get fined. Yeah. but she's back to being completely psycho. And so we're already regretting our decision of buying this puppy and think that the owners lied to us about her being the more chill option. And long story short, we get back on the road. Pretty smooth sailing the rest of the way home. We just drive straight through the next day, the next morning, which was like another 8 or 9 hours. And then we just get home with little fluffball Okie.
Yep. And then she crashed.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Yeah.
We were all tired.
It was complete chaos, complete craziness. It was literally just to go get this pup. It was I feel like it was good to tell that story because it number one, we appreciate her a little bit more because we had to go through all of that, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But it was there was just everything that could go wrong went wrong that weekend.
But now we have all those memories.
We do. And nightmares.
Yeah.
So, but that aside, let's talk about progress we made on the house.
Okay. So last time we had this podcast, we were sitting in the kitchen or living room. Nothing was put on the floors. The walls were torn up. I don't even think we had a ceiling at that point. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, the kitchen's done. We don't have any of our actual furniture that will be kept there. We just have the couch from your apartment, mixed matched pieces just to get by. So that's a whole nother thing. But we're trying to get all of the rooms and bathrooms done before we start decorating. So it's been hard because it's you get the itch. But next phase, I would say, are the bathrooms. We tried to start working on the den, which is your office. So that is a construction zone right now. So that's fun because dust and the house is just never clean. So
she's keeping up. It sounds not very big on what the progress we've made, but we completely got all new. This is all done this year. You probably don't even realize that. We got all new carpets. We
painted all the walls.
We repainted all the walls after they were all done. Patched up all the holes that you probably saw in the last time that we had any type of update. We put in a little beverage nook. We put in a ton of appliances and everything. All new appliances everywhere. We got countertops in and put countertops everywhere. We got brand new custom cabinets put in and put those everywhere. We got new handles finally, actually very recently, and put those on everything so we could actually use the kitchen, which was fun.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Just thinking about all this stuff.
All new floors downstairs, all new floors upstairs.
But the den has not been touched.
Well, we did touch it. It was all wood paneling down there before. Took all the wood paneling out. Took out a bunch of the kind of trim and everything because we were going to go ahead and we thought for relatively inexpensive, we could redo that. And so I started that process, took all that stuff out and took out some of the walls. We had framers come in and reframe it because our plan to add value to the house is to make the den a fourth bedroom, basically. Right. So what we had to do that is we had to we had to make a closet for it because for it to be a bedroom, it's got to have a closet. It's got access to the outside already through a glass door. And then it also has there was a half bath down there. So we thought, okay, let's go for 2 here. Well, let's extend the half bath to make it a full bath. So it'll be a 3-bathroom house now. And let's add in the closet so that can be considered a bedroom. So it's now going to be instead of 3-bed, 2.5 bath, it'll be a 4-bed, 3-bath.
Well, and the plan for that as well of just not only adding value, but one of the bedrooms upstairs is going to be a baby room and eventually a kid room. And so we didn't want to only have one guest bed just because your family, they live in different parts. Addie lives in Texas, your parents live in Oklahoma. So we want to be able to accommodate as much as we can. And so everyone's comfortable. And so just having one guest bedroom wasn't going to cut it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we kind of that's another reason why we decided to be like, yes, let's add value to downstairs. Let's not just make it your office, but make it versatile. So our future plan, which we'll see how long it takes us to get to this part, but it's to add like some sort of Murphy bed built in kind of situation down there. But it will look really nice, is what we're going for. We don't want it to look like it's an obvious Murphy bed. So whenever we have people come and stay with us, we'll have options.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is like we just wanted to get like the baseline of the downstairs done because we thought we could check that off without really bringing in anybody except for the framers.
Yeah.
And get that done. And so we started all of that within the last like month. And then basically we're kind of told by Kenzie's dad, who's done a lot of our kind of advising us on what we should and shouldn't do, that probably to redo the bathrooms upstairs, which was supposed to be our next big project within the next several months. Because we're going to have to do those projects and likely move some of the plumbing, it doesn't make sense to like close in any walls or do any changes downstairs yet anywhere near the plumbing because we would just have to rip that out anyways and redo stuff again.
And to give people context, our plumbing, the way that our house is built, it's like a multi-level kind of thing situation, and the plumbing's all stacked on top of each other. So the bathrooms are directly above the other bathrooms. So they're all kind of like joined together in a way, so you can't really work on one and not the other, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like the issue, just because we would have to go backwards and may may have to redo some of the stuff that we had already done if we were to just go ahead and move forward with the downstairs.
Yeah. So we pressed pause on that. There's a bunch of unfinished walls and stuff down there because we couldn't close it in. But
just bugging me like crazy.
Yeah. Eventually, once we can pull the trigger on all of it, which basically means redoing 2 bathrooms, the downstairs and the downstairs bathroom all at the same time, which is a lot more expensive than what we originally planned.
Yeah.
Then we will kind of do all of that in one swoop.
It will be nice once it's done, but it seems like such a big chaotic headache that I'm just not in avoidance mode, but I'm just a little bit hesitant just because of what I know like we've already done and how that's felt. So it's just like, do we want to go back into the chaotic mess of renovation, or do we want to like pause and take a break a little bit? So
yeah, and the crazy thing to think about is it's not quite, but almost equivalent to what we've done so far.
Yeah.
3 full bathrooms, and then the entire downstairs.
Yeah.
Like that's major renovations. It's half the house.
But once it's done, I mean, that's pretty much majority of what we were planning on fixing up, other than the outside. The outside's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the inside goes, when the bathrooms are all done, every room would have been renovated, which is really nice once that's accomplished.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But it has been a lot of progress this year and end of last year since that last podcast episode.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that too, because like even though we haven't been able to decorate or anything like that, just because why buy stuff when you don't know like if it's gonna match? We did get like a whole new bedroom set. So for a while at the beginning, we were sleeping on the ground, which was interesting.
Long while.
Yeah. So we've really come a long way.
Yeah, we're making it out the mud.
Yes, we are. Yeah. But I will be happy once it's done.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think maybe by the end of the year, we'll be like 85, 90% of the way done with everything.
Yeah, because really, I mean, whenever like a baby does come in the picture, it's just like all our funds from home renovation budget goes to the baby fund. So that's going to be a whole nother thing.
Yeah, but it'll be good.
Yeah.
You're 1 week out from your first show.
I know. I'm so excited.
How does that feel?
It feels good. Um, it feels really good. It kind of feels unreal. Like, just because I've never gone through that, I have no idea what to expect as far as show day goes. I am just kind of like nervous. Like, I don't know if I am in a good spot. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm just really trusting Addie to help me through this. And I also don't even know if it was like smart for me to, or whichever the right decision would be for, if you book a hair appointment or you do it yourself, or you book makeup or you do it yourself. Like, I am not the type of person that wears makeup or really does my hair. I'm all natural, and I'm sure Baker you can be like, yeah. um and so to just be like, yeah, sure, I'm just gonna do this myself is a little bit scary, just because I've never done any of that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a trial and error kind of thing.
Addie will be here too, though, so you guys will.
Yeah.
And she just did this, so.
Which is gonna be nice. She'll help me a lot.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
What do you think are the biggest lessons that prep has taught you this year?
Lessons. Prioritizing your time. I would say, you know, a lot of the things that you have to do when it comes to prep can take up majority of the day. And so it's really just like getting them done as, early as possible, just so you don't hurt yourself at the end of the day missing, some of the tasks that you could have done at the beginning. And then another one would be that I'm learning right now is, especially when it comes down to kind of like closer to the show, when you're really in prep, you kind of start to isolate yourself a little bit, just because your energy is just non existent and you're not in the best mood because you're hungry, all of the things that come along with prep. I started to find myself like, no, I don't want to go and do this. I don't want to be around people. I'm not any fun to be around. Why would I put anyone else through that? They didn't sign up for it. So I was just kind of like having that thought go through my head. And then it's just really just trying to take a step away from that and just be like, that shouldn't be an excuse. You should still try and see people. Like, yeah, they didn't sign up for this. So, like, don't isolate yourself. And so just really trying to keep that positive mindset, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two big lessons that I've learned and am learning. So,
No, I think that's powerful. And I think it is, just like 75 hard, prep kind of teaches you what is possible within your schedule.
that is
Because we
true.
make all of these like day-to-day excuses. And it's easy to fall in and out of that. Like I fall in and out of that all the time, of like whether I do or don't have time to work out or whatever. And and then I'm reminded whenever I do kind of lock in, like, oh, I'm actually doing the same amount of in the same things that I was making excuses about previously, but I'm making it happen now, So I think it's easy to slip in and out of that stuff. There'll be times after you get done with prep within a month or so where you're kind of like, oh, I didn't have time to work out today, but it's like, well, when you were on prep, you would have just made time, you would have still gone or done it.
Whatever, like, you prioritize at the time.
So I think it kind of teaches you what is possible. It does force you to kind of look inward and think like, what am I capable of? Because, you get halfway or 3/4 of the way through one of those really tough cardio sessions when you're depleted and you kind of, I don't know about you, but my internal dialogue always goes to, okay, I'm whether it's 15 minutes in, I've got 15, I can do 15 more minutes. I've already done it once. I just got to do that same exact amount of effort one more time, or I've got 10 minutes left. I've already done that 4 times. I can do 10 more minutes. I've done it 4 times already. And it's like, you got 5 minutes left. Okay, that's it. I got 5 minutes. It's nothing. I can do 5 minutes of cardio all day. Like that's where your kind of internal dialogue goes. And so it starts to force you to just like understand what hard things you're capable of, and they only get harder than the rest of the prep, you know?
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So I think it does teach you a lot about yourself, a lot about what you're capable of. But from outsiders' perspective, I've been super proud of you.
Thank you.
And just watching how you've developed and how much you push yourself and everything, and measuring out everything down to the gram or down to the ounce, like never going off plan, always staying on track. Like you really have like handled it like a pro.
Aw, you're gonna make me cry.
No, you don't need to cry. But it has been really, really cool to watch, and especially watching you navigate a lot of this with Addie as your coach. It's just been really cool to kind of watch from a brother perspective and husband perspective.
Yeah, she's been a saint. She's been amazing. I've cried to her. She's been awesome this whole process, and she's been working with me since January. So I'm happy that she's my coach.
Mm-hmm. So 1 week out from show 1, and then you've got the Summer Shredding Classic in mid-September.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then reverse.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I know. It's really here.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll go by fast, which is like a happy and sad kind of thing. Just because afterwards I'm probably going to be like, now what?
Mm-hmm.
It's taken up my whole life.
Yeah.
But it'll be good.
Well, what are some of the things you're looking forward to after?
I think finding a good balance. I know the reverse is going to be extremely tough just because you're going to have all of those cravings, and your hormones are obviously trying to get back on track, back in balance. So just dealing with that and just trying to like stay on track with the reverse when you don't have a goal or a set date in mind is probably going to be the most challenging. So maybe just trying to find a way to navigate that. And then I've actually, since I've been on prep, I've found a passion for creating really healthy recipes. So I might try and document some of those, put it out for the world to see. We'll see. But yeah, it's been fun.
Some YouTube, maybe?
Maybe some YouTube. I made a video. I did not put it up because I don't know how to do the whole like thumbnail. Like I think I need you to do that. That's your expertise. Is
You don't have to do a
technology.
thumbnail.
See, I don't even know what that is.
You don't have to do one. You can just press post.
But then what's the picture that pops up?
It'll give you a few preview options that you can pick from.
Okay. We'll see if I post one.
Analysis paralysis. Here we are. No, I think you'd be really good at YouTube. I think you'd be good at social media if you posted more. I think you'd be really good at a cookbook or something like that.
I enjoy all of that. I love just the creative aspect of all three of those things. The only thing that I struggle with and that I need to like figure out how to be better at is consistency. So I need to find or set a goal or whatever it takes to be consistent with, okay, let me film this, or let me think of this content. Let me do this real quick. Because what I've realized that has happened in the past and is happening right now is my day gets really chaotic and I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. I can't think about it. I don't know how. Like, it's just kind of imposter syndrome, I would say, is also imposter syndrome. What did I say?
Imposter syndrome.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe
right. You can cut that out.
You're 1 week out.
Yeah.
With the veins.
They can't see that.
No, I bet they can. Well, speaking of, we've got to go get to the gym and get your 1 week out workout and cardio done. I'm going to do some workout and cardio too.
My cardio is going down right now, so I am super happy. Mm-hmm. But yes, we have to get that in before it gets too late.
Yep. And then post-show, anything you're looking forward to post-show?
Traveling and being able to not saying this in like a like I'm gonna go off the rails. I really hope I don't. I'm
You
gonna
won't.
be working with Addie and you as far as making sure I don't. But just being able to, like, if we're out and about, enjoy a meal and not have to think twice about it, or sit there and watch everyone else eat and then get back home. Like, just being able to kind of have that flexibility back into life is what I'm excited for. So just a good balance, I would say.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Love you very much.
I love you more.
Thank you for hopping on another episode of the Bamcast. We'll have to do one after, maybe after the first
Yes.
show and the second show.
Ooh, 3 in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. We got to catch up. We're
I
behind.
know. That's crazy.
All right. Thanks for coming on, babe.
Love you.
Thank you guys for watching / listening to another episode. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And follow up with, I'll put all of Kenzie's socials down below, but follow some of her stuff and her journey. And by the time you see this, she'll be either about to step on stage or just getting off of stage. So
It's so exciting.
it's gonna go by fast.
I'm so ready.
I know you are. All right. Thanks, guys.